2020 started like most do at the City of Rochester. However, this year was unlike anything we could have expected. As a community, we came together. We came together to help individuals and families in need. We came together to help small businesses. We came together with the resolve to be there for one another during the devastation of the COVID-19 pandemic. During 2020, the mayor, city council, and city teammates have been committed to serving our community through COVID-19 and staying focused on the organization's foundational principles. Teamwork, collaboration, and compassion guided us each and every day. With the onset of the pandemic, the City of Rochester immediately established a work team, which included community partners, to help our community members and businesses. The organization also opened up the Emergency Operations Center, which supported the city's ability to respond to COVID-19 quickly.
In fall of 2020, the Rochester City Council approved a plan for investing $5.1 million in coronavirus aid, relief, and economic security funding in 3 key areas: support for individuals, support for public service, and economic recovery. The funding originated from the federal government and was allocated to the City of Rochester by the state of Minnesota. In total, $18.5 million was appropriated to Rochester, with more than $3.7 million invested in the first phase. Previous expenditures supported a grant program for local small businesses, food access, and assistance for individuals experiencing homelessness. With partners like the Rochester Area Chamber of Commerce, Our Neighbors, Destination Medical Center, Rochester Area Economic Development, Channel One, Experience Rochester, Mayo Clinic, and others, the city worked to slowly and safely reopen our community. This included providing support for those experiencing homelessness, free bus service, local business support, liquor license support, employment opportunities, free parking, utility bill relief, and more. Departments across the organization supported our community with many programs supported by CARES Act funding. Strong community partnerships were vital in the facilitation of the programs and services. While departments focused on supporting our community's response to the pandemic, they also ensured the activities and work of the organization continued. Here are some of the many achievements.
The organization completed a branding project, which brought together all city departments. This included over 1,000 collective hours of work and engagement by each department. The focus of the branding project was clarity, alignment, and unity. The city secured $11.4 million in state bonding funds for the Rochester International Airport runway safety and improvements. An additional $2.5 million was allocated for improvements to Cascade Lake Park. A big thank you to our local legislators for their support of these important projects. The Development Services and Infrastructure Center and North Station project was completed on time and on budget. The City Council approved prevailing wage, workforce participation goals, and targeted business contracting for all City of Rochester Capital Improvement Plan projects funded by the city. This year, the city participated in 3 affordable housing projects: Badger Hill Senior Housing, the Jeremiah Program, and Century Heights. The city, in partnership with Destination Medical Center, kicked off a community co-design process for rapid transit. This co-design process builds on the co-design process being used for Discovery Walk. The Mayor's Office kicked off the Sustainability and Resiliency Task Force and was recognized by the U.S. Conference of Mayors' 14th Annual Climate Protection Awards for climate action. The city also completed the Bloomberg Harvard City Leadership Program and participated in the new mayor's cohort at the Mayor's Innovation Project. Mayor Kim Norton was recognized as one of the 500 most powerful business leaders in Minnesota. 19 community members were recognized this year via the Mayor's Medal of Honor for their commitment and service to our community. The City Council approved the creation of a Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Director, a first for the city. This new position supports the strong focus on equity for the organization and community. We also thanked 4 outgoing City Council members for their years of service to our community.
Rochester Civic Music kicked off 2020 with a sold-out Beatles tribute show, the Fab Four, at the Mayo Civic Center, and a sold-out World Music Series show featuring Tuvan throat singers, Alash, at the Black Box at Rochester Civic Theater. The department served over 2,000 young people with the 2020 Artists in the School Music Education Residency Program and over 300 out-of-state Minnesotans with the Rural Library Outreach Program. While the 2020 Down by the Riverside concerts and Forward Neighborhood Park concerts had to be canceled due to COVID-19, the department responded with drive-in style car park concerts in the 125 Live parking lot, serving nearly 700 attendees and almost 15,000 live stream viewers, and provided the music for the end of summer Rochester Community Celebration, serving over 700 attendees and 2,000 live stream viewers. Rochester Civic Music also produced the inaugural season of its new online music show, Live from Med City, broadcast on local government access channels and live streamed to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, serving over 25,000 live stream viewers.
The City Clerk's Office administered 3 successful and accessible election events this year for the over 77,000 registered voters in the City of Rochester. They recruited, hired, trained, and deployed a total of 1,702 election judges to 52 polling places in the presidential nominating primary and 36 polling places for the state primary and general election. There were 350 data practice requests processed and 483 contracts executed. The City Clerk's Office issued over 1,200 licenses and expanded the premise of 37 businesses over the summer to allow for outdoor seating in response to the pandemic. This process was developed in-house by teammates and was done quickly to help businesses. Finally, the City Clerk team answered over 11,000 phone calls this year.
The Human Resources Department worked hard to respond to assist the organization with the COVID-19 response. They led the creation of policies, material, the organization's safety plan, and environmental assessment. HR also launched the city's new learning management system, Aspire, and the Mechanics of Supervision training course. The Wellness Advisory Committee was launched with council approval to implement an employee wellness program in 2021. HR partnered with Baker Tilly to recruit and select a new city administrator. Teammate Jason Bloom obtained the Associate Safety Professional designation.
The City of Rochester retained their Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting, as well as keeping its AAA bond rating. These things demonstrate the city's commitment to being sound fiscal stewards of the community's funds. Office 365 was implemented across the entire organization. This occurred just in time as city teammates began working remotely due to COVID-19. The finance team also worked diligently to ensure CARES funding was tracked and reported properly, and they also facilitated a second budget process effort to make $26.2 million in budget cuts to adjust due to the pandemic's impacts.
The Rochester International Airport was awarded a $750,000 Small Community Air Service Development Grant. It announced new nonstop flights to Denver on United Airlines, and the Jet Bridge addition is nearing completion.
Teammates in Public Works were busy this year. They mill and paved 25 miles of streets, as well as plowed over 7,400 miles of roadways. There were multiple stormwater drainage improvement projects as well. In total, over 1,700 right-of-way permits were issued. In addition, close to 2 million feet of sanitary sewers were jet cleaned. 2020 was another important year for capital improvement project completion. This included the sanitary sewer project at First Avenue Northwest and Broadway. There was over 1,700 tons of contaminated soil removed, over 3,400 square yards of new concrete roadway installed on Broadway. The 3rd Avenue Southeast Siphon project was complete. The team micro-tunneled 380 feet under the Zumbro River. They also installed 750 feet of sanitary sewer, much of that in bedrock, and they also installed 760 feet of storm sewer. These types of projects are reflective of the ongoing investment in our community and specifically in our downtown, as outdated and worn infrastructure is replaced. The improvements being made will support a vibrant downtown that is ready to serve our growing community. Public Works, in partnership with RPU, continue to make progress with replacing outdated streetlights with high-efficiency LED lights. This is reflective of our commitment to sustainability efforts. Our public transit system was named the best transit system of the year, a really great accomplishment and highlight.
Our public safety teammates experienced another busy year. The Rochester Police Department responded to over 56,000 calls for service. They created an Office of Professional Standards and Accountability, which works to maintain the department's professional standards, add transparency, and ensure professional accountability. The North Station is a 54,600 square feet facility and includes improved evidence and vehicle processing, canine facilities, training classrooms, simulator room, and exercise room. The project was more than 6 years in the making. RPD began looking at sites in the fall of 2014. In total, RPD swore in 17 new officers in 2020. More than half of them were women and people of color. Modeled after the School Resource Officer Program, RPD is implementing a Hospital Resource Officer Program as well as a Downtown Beat Officer Program. Even through the pandemic, the team focused on connecting with the community through COVID-safe activities. This was especially true with the Community Action Team's focus on engaging the youth in the community.
The Rochester Fire Department responded to over 9,700 calls for service this year. They played a key role in the Emergency Operations Center for COVID-19. In addition, RFD worked with Pierce Manufacturing to develop an idle control system for their fire apparatus, which Pierce now offers as the Rochester system, which is now being sold across the United States and Canada. This system reduces fuel consumption and was included on Truck 42, the newest RFD apparatus. They were able to double the size of the high school firefighter class to increase interest in the fire service and aid in their recruitment. The training division built a 2-story training prop for live burn training and a trench rescue and confined space prop for technical rescue training at the Regional Public Safety Training Center. The trench rescue prop was used by the State Technical Rescue Team to certify its members in trench rescue capability. RFD established 3 automatic aid agreements with Elgin, Byron, and Stewartville that will increase the frequency the departments work together and provide a joint response to community members at the edge of each jurisdiction's response area. Finally, RFD raised just over $1,300 in this year's October Breast Cancer Awareness Campaign. The money that was donated to the local Join the Journey organization, which will provide support to those who live and have been impacted by breast cancer.
To do its part in ensuring a safe and livable community, the City Attorney's Office opened a total of 1,740 cases, of which 339 were gross misdemeanors and 1,401 were misdemeanor cases. 784 of cases opened this year involved victims of crime, and teammates made almost 2,100 contacts with victims and witnesses.
The library provided leadership and staffing assistance to the day center, which saw an average of 77 individuals each day. The team provided those experiencing homelessness a safe place during the ongoing health crisis. The library was also home to the call center, where over 6,000 COVID-related calls were answered between March and November. An additional 29,464 library reference calls were also answered by the call center team, helping keep our community connected to the library materials and information they rely on. Over 46,000 people borrowed items using the library's curbside pickup system between April and November, giving customers safe access to library materials. Library teammates Heather Adamson, Ingrid Alvarez, and Kim Dahl were selected for the Minnesota Library Association's Above and Beyond Award. All 3 library teammates served as day center operations managers to support individuals experiencing homelessness. Over 7,900 handwritten postcards were mailed to Rochester area residents, primarily individuals over the age of 65 plus, to keep people connected during the initial days of the COVID pandemic. In addition, more than 1,000 library cardholders over the age of 65 received phone calls from library teammates. The calls were made to help some of the community's most vulnerable feel more connected to library resources. In addition, over 350,000 digital audiobooks and ebooks were borrowed between March and November. This was a 37% increase over the same period in 2019.
Rochester Public Utilities received the 2020 Association of Metropolitan Water Agencies Gold Award for Exceptional Utility Performance. The Unit No. 4 chimney at the Silver Lake plant stood among the Rochester skyline for 52 years and was taken down this year due to the plant being decommissioned in 2015. Beginning in August, RPU worked collaboratively with the Community Engagement Group and City Administration to assist RPU customers with city-allocated CARES funding to get additional direct CARES funding help out to customers. Through these efforts, RPU awarded $749,776 to 375 small business customers and $123,701 to 191 residential customers. At Lake Zumbro Dam, the annual and 5-year inspections were completed by Bar Engineering. This was an in-depth inspection that involves surveying the spillway for vertical and horizontal shift and bathymetry in front of the dam and below. Also at Lake Zumbro Dam, the annual emergency response drill was performed. These drills are important to ensure quick response to high water or dam failure scenarios for the safety of downstream residents.
Community development continued to build and develop the department. This included building safety coming together with community development to form one department. Together, they will now function as the Community Development Department. A big focus for the year was moving many services online. This included building permits and rental license applications. The city also adopted a historic preservation strategy and was a recipient of a state award to do research on the power plant. Community development was very active with helping bring more public art into our public spaces. This included working with Park and Recreation and our neighbors. The total valuation of new development was over $441 million, bringing the 3-year total to approximately $1.8 billion. Community development launched a small area plan, the Downtown Waterfront Southeast Small Area Plan, which is located southeast of the downtown core. It is a 60-plus acre campus. The process has included a 20-person committee and has been heavily focused on community engagement. Community development is also leading the work on updating the Unified Development Code. This ambitious project is to convert the Land Development Manual, which contains the city's zoning and subdivision regulations, into a clearer, more robust, and comprehensive Unified Development Code. This is a 27-month project, and it features 6 major components. Over 32,000 building inspections were completed. A total of 241 new rental licenses were processed, bringing the total rental licenses to over 5,200. In addition, this year over 4,000 rental inspections occurred. The Community Development Block Grant served over 3,100 community members, including 600 people with disabilities and over 1,500 community members experiencing domestic violence situations. The city's Green Team was created, and there was an adoption of a styrofoam ban policy for the city organization. There were 40 sustainability community listening sessions that occurred, and they captured input from Rochester's communities of diverse backgrounds and prioritized voices not typically heard from in the community engagement process. The Community Development Department was very active with the COVID-19 response, and they managed over $1.2 million of CARES funds to support neighborhoods, the arts, nonprofits, food security, daycare, and distance learning. They partnered with organizations like Our Neighbors, Cradle to Career, Threshold Arts, the United Way, Channel One, the Rochester Area Foundation, YU, the Mayo Civic Center, Boys and Girls Club, and many more.
In November, the Rochester community voted to approve a ballot question which will provide our Parks and Recreation system an additional $2 million annually to invest in the community's park system. 27 acres were added to the park system, over 450 acres over the last 10 years. 9 new park sites were added for a total of 139. Park use has increased dramatically over this last year, with open space being used for everything from recreation to business meetings. A record 3,174 trees were planted this year. 1,066 tree inspections occurred, with 2,172 ash tree inspections for the EAB. The team used goats to control invasive species on 15-plus acres at Indian Heights Park. Rochester Conservation Corps workers removed buckthorn on 8-plus acres of land in Quarry Hill Park. There are new parks in the neighborhoods of 100 Acre Woods, Morris Hills, and Young. Cascade Lake Park opened this year. There were 82,034 golf rounds played in the 3 18-hole city golf courses of Eastwood, Northern Hills, and Soldiers Field this year, the most rounds since 2016. When combined with the 16,174 golf rounds played at Hadley Creek in 2020, the total of 98,208 rounds is the most played in Rochester city golf courses since the early 1990s.
2020 was an unprecedented year for Team Rochester and the Rochester community. Our commitment to one another was evident in all that we accomplished to support people and small businesses. There is a reason Rochester has a long history of being recognized nationally as a great place to live. 2020 was no different. Rochester was named the #1 most livable mid-sized city by Smart Asset and the #5 top place to live by Livability. Thank you, Rochester, for allowing us to serve you. Here's to a brighter tomorrow together.